So today we're going to be doing something I have never done before, and that is driving all three of my drift cars at the same track, same weekend, same everything. I've never bounced back and forth between them. We're going to be driving my street car, full interior F80 BMW. We're going to be driving my LS Miata, which is kind of a cross between a street car and a race car, and has been my comp car for the last several years. And then my new comp car that we built, my Turbo LS Corvette, making a 1,000-wheel, dog box transmission, full-on nutty race car. Very different cars, and we're going to try to drive all three of them and see what they're like. So the first one we're going to drive is my F80 seat time car. We just finished this car not long ago. We drove it on Drift Week, but we haven't driven it here at home with people we've driven with a lot. So I'm excited. We're going to drive this with my buddy Adam Supra that he just finished. They should be a pretty good matchup with each other. Alrighty. We're going to do some laps in the M. It's pretty toasty out. We got the AC on. Got some fresh gloves. I'm so weird. I'll wear the same pair of shoes for every occasion. But when it comes to gloves, I like having gloves for, I don't get it. Alright, yeah, put her in Sport Plus. It's funny because out west, which is the first times I got to drift this car, it was so cold out that like I never used the AC, whereas right now it feels pretty good to have the AC on. So we gotta find Adam.
And if that's something you can't respect, then that's peace. My life's better without you, actually.
Alright, we're gonna chase Adam now. I guess I'll just turn the AC off. So good! So good! This is so good! Perfect! So fun! Feels so good in these cars. It's just like, it's what tandeming at a fun event should be. Like, it's chill, you're not working that hard, you're just cruising together. The cars aren't super hooked up. That was so fun. All right, this is Adam Supra. So in my head, you built this for kind of the same logic reasons as I built the F80, like simple car, stock drivetrain, keep it relatively simple, but enough power to be capable at like bigger tracks and stuff.
I wanted to do like a crash manual one.
Okay.
And Trevor actually originally said, hey, what if you could get an 8 HP working with an HTG controller? I haven't given Trevor credit to anything until now. But he was kind of like the start of the idea, but I didn't want to do it. So I was really pushing TJ to do it because I knew TJ was building. I wanted to build a Mark V, and then he chickened out. So it's like, oh, well, the HTG guys are coming. I guess it's on me now to do it. I kind of wanted to do it just to like prove that it works. Well, and it opens so many doors because with this transmission, there's like the 235i's, the 240i's. Like I rabbit holed to the F80. I started with, I saw Jordan's 240i. I was like, oh, I wonder one of those with an auto, if you can make it work with like a clutch thing. And then I was like, well, if I'm gonna spend that money, I might as well buy an F80, and here we are. But if like getting this to work, like it makes a lot of options, I feel like, for people. Yeah, I never was like, why don't you just manual swap it? But if you can avoid swapping the transmission, and we can sell like a package at Drift HQ, where someone could buy a crash Supra, install a couple wires, screw in a board, and they can go do this. Like, because I feel like there's so many more of these like available than the F80s. Like, and especially if you're trying to find a manual F80, like there's just not a ton of them. Like, I feel like there's a lot of these, and they would be cheaper to get into one of these than a manual F80. I bet it's probably the same, but I think the difference is these cars like need a lot less to be reliable, right? Right. Like, you got to do a crank hub fix on
Oh, you're right. You're right. That's true.
A manual one, like I assume you probably have to do a clutch at some point, right?
Yeah, I did a clutch in mine.
Where these, like, if you can just, it's like a Z, right? You buy it, you don't need to do a clutch. You screw in some stuff, like bolt on for 10 minutes the knuckle adapters. Like the most labor intensive thing is like fitting a handbrake.
Can you still like run it in auto mode? Like, can you let it shift itself? Will that do it?
Yes, but right now we haven't spent the time to configure that. So like that will take, getting it to drive really nice on the street and work seamlessly
will be the hardest part.
A lot longer than getting it to work on the track. Like I drove it here, it works fine, but it's not going to be like the buttery smooth stock shifts.
Right.
Right now it's kind of like a trade-off of like, do I want it to be super quick shifts and snappy on the track, or do I want it to be flush around town?
Right.
So
okay.
Like, give me great on track, have the clutch be like an on-off switch so I can actuate it quick. And
that makes sense. I was just curious.
It's actually a potentiometer, the clutch.
Okay.
So it's a 350Z gas pedal.
That's so weird.
GPS from that is what controls the clutch actuation.
Anyway, this thing's sick. We're gonna do some more runs. It's literally like the Z days, which Matt's still representing.
In his BRZ, that would be a little
true.
He needs like a new BRZ with like a turbo.
Right. Then it would all be the same. Yeah. Matt, you gotta get a new BRZ with a turbo or a Supra or an F80, so we can have the Z days but luxury.
I'm building a sedan, but it's not gonna be luxury. It's gonna be more pro car-y than
True. Yeah, I'm stoked. We're gonna drive some more F80 on Supra. Seems like the Supra's a little bit quicker, but they're pretty similar.
So after doing a bunch of laps in the street car, which is like going out for a Sunday drive, we hopped in the Vette, which is the total opposite. It is a full-blown race car, dog box transmission, quick change diff, 1,000 horsepower, total opposite car. So I'm excited to kind of compare them back to back. And fortunately, my buddy Ethan brought out his comp car, which is also a really crazy build. And it's the perfect opportunity to get some comp car tandems before the season starts for both of us. So I was running my scrub comp tires, which all the sets I had about 30% life left, and after 2 smoky laps, they were pretty much done by this one. It's unfortunate. I should have put a new set on for practicing with Ethan, since this was a good opportunity to practice comp car to comp car, but hey, I was trying to conserve tire. I like trying to conserve tire. You can hear how much I pedal it on this lap to try to keep up because my tires are absolutely done. So I'm trying to pedal it and drive at low angles so that I can use that to catch up because I don't have any grip left to drive up to him with the power. Expect with 90 some miles an hour wheel speed. So after that session with the Vette, I did end up doing a ton more laps with the F80. I did some wet drifting with Adam and Sean, and then I did some dry drifting with Matt and Hasm, and this was a really fun session in the car, driving it at home on a dry track with people I've tandem with for a long time. I always love driving with Matt. And the track was still a little patchy, a little treacherous, but we did some lead laps and we did some chase laps and had some fun. We got caught in the mud.
Yeah, you were getting... That was good.
So after that last session, I noticed a bit of a vibration in the car, which is really noticeable because of how smooth this car is, and I couldn't figure it out. I didn't know if I was going crazy, but we did find it. The fan has a ring around it, the electric fan, and it broke the ring itself, so it was causing a vibration, but it worked out because we were done for the night with that car. We drove it back home. It made it home no problem. And before we got into comparing the Vette and the Miata the next day, I wanted to do some tandems with Matt in the Vette. So we tandem with him in the F80. Now it's time to do it in a way more powerful, way crazier car. Matt is a great lead driver, so smooth to follow. So I was really excited to get some laps in with him in this thing. So tandeming with someone in a way faster car than you is never really fun when you're chasing, but fortunately Matt's a good sport and I don't want to be the guy just running away from him. So when I did my lead runs, I tried to go as slow as I possibly could. I'm left foot braking super hard. I'm constantly checking back to make sure he's still there, and Matt, being the phenomenal driver that he is, managed to keep up with a little VQ. So it was fun. We both played our part. I wanted to make sure he got some good chase laps in, and it wasn't just me bullying him around the track. So this run is a great example of getting too greedy in the chase at the wrong time. I got too greedy trying to get close to him right before the transition, and I had to kind of dodge him to get out of the way. And then that kind of screws up the entire rest of the run, but that's what this is about. We're just driving for fun. I'm trying things. I'm trying to learn this car and the nuances of it. You know, the LS Miata has so many different laps in it with so many different situations happening. I just haven't had those in this car, so I'm still figuring it out. I'm still learning. It's got the capability. It's just on me to get in tune with it. So shout out to Matt for letting me chase him. It definitely helped him. It was really good practice.
Got too greedy on that first start. All right, well, there's no more B or C class sessions for them, so I'm gonna do a couple laps in the Vette on kill mode, and then jump straight in the Miata on scrub comp tires, aired down, fully hooked up, and see what the difference is. Because driving from one day to the next, it's hard to tell, but literally going from one car to the next immediately back to back, I think I'll actually be able to feel the differences, feel which one feels faster, all that stuff. I mean, the Vette should in theory be faster, but I'm just curious. I'm curious, and since they don't have any more sessions, now I'll drive it. I haven't driven it all weekend. I wanted them to get as much seat time as they could, so putting the scrubs comps on now. All right, we're doing the Vette first. it definitely feels slower. Yeah, the Vette just feels better overall. It's easier to drive on throttle, has better angle, more angle. The shifter's way closer. That stuff feels the weirdest. Get hot. That was so fun.
Dude, I'm glad you got it. It's so good.
That was fun.
Like a damn bike.
That was fun. That was really fun.
Remember how you said you were gonna sell this car?
Yeah. It's really fun. The tires were done before the last. I was like, man, I should have done a 360 this run. And I was like, I guess I could do it between here and here.
All right, well, we made it back home with all three cars in one piece, the Vette, the Miata, and the F80, which is over in the garage. We literally didn't have to work on any of them. The only thing I had to do, I did have to do one thing to the Vette early on. It was just kind of a lingering problem. We've been messing with the rear suspension and we hadn't got the caliper fitment dialed in. So I had to mess with the shimming of the caliper Saturday. That was it. That was literally it all weekend. To bring three cars to the track, drive every single session, 3 different people driving, and not have any mechanical failures, not have to work on the cars, like that, I could not have been happier with that. It always feels so good for me as a car builder, or mechanic, or whatever you want to call me, to go to the track with cars and not have to mess with them. We did have one part break on the F80, which was the fan. Duarte's car did the same thing, so I think it's a common problem. I've got another fan on the way to fix that. But other than that, that car drove to the track, drove all day, and drove home. So anyway, I'm super ecstatic with how the weekend went. I had a lot of fun driving the Vette. I'm excited to drive it more. We got some good tandems in. We're still learning the car, but we'll get there. We'll get there. So I'm gonna quit jibber jabbering. I'm gonna let you guys go, but I do want to say thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Let me know which of the 3 cars is your favorite and which car you thought was faster, the Vette or the Miata. All right, thanks. Goodbye.